Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Bebop here. Today we're going to be going over a Ennead or Ennead, depending on where you are in the world. That's how it's said. All right, here we go. Brimstone, top left, Shrine of 999. All right, then we're going to go there, and then we're going to go to the front door, ask for the wizard, and see if they'll let us in. Now, once we get into Ennead,
coatings and all that horse
it is
shit.
ancient enemies at first,
like
corrupted in the middle, or I guess toward
trash.
the end, and then back to ancient. So, in the higher level mutations, you will be bringing in your ancient coatings and your corrupted coatings. Make sure your trophies in your home are set up. Make sure your honing stones and everything like that are in your person, so that way you can put them on also. All right, I'm going to take you through the way that most new players do this, and that is the way that tank goes in the middle. You want to get behind that archer if you can, and make sure you have on different abilities. My hammer's still spec'd out for PvP, but anyways, you want to get behind the archer and make him front face you. Wherever way his back is toward is where he's going to jump backwards a lot. So tank, if you kept trying to front face him, he would jump all the way back to the next group of enemies. You don't want that. And I will show you later when we get ready to do mutation videos the best way to run a Ennead. There's a way to do it if you're wanting loot. There's a way to do it if you want a speed run. There's a way to do it if you want to max out your speed run. I will go over that in the mutation series, so be sure to check that out. Now, those glyphs on the wall will unlock those chests, and that will help you get the loot that you probably want at this level to get some, better gear, weapons, and all that. Now, you want to come over here and take this next group out. And these birds, it's really good to have sword bash on or a hammer that you can shockwave with. I would say if you sword and shield DPS this, 100% run with shield bash all the way up until the first boss. That way, in case the bird starts to teleport like that, he will do a lot of damage when he teleports. And you can basically shield bash him and knock him out of it and save your DPS. One thing I love about the Graysword right here is I can pull all those beetles into me. They're not going anywhere. If the grab well isn't there in time to lock those guys up, hey, I did it myself. Also, stamina damage is really good on these birds. Make sure when you get the stamina damage down that you do not wake up the birds. Things that wake up the bird are sweep, shield rush,
pull those up to the right,
shield bash,
don't worry about those.
hammer slam down. Those type of things will wake up the bird, and you do not want that. Simply aggro these enemies. You're going to take them up to the right. In mutations, you never go this way at all, but in regular, I'm going to show you this way because there's a chest over here. I go around this corner, makes it easier, and I can just melt all these mobs here. The archer will be the latest to come up, and he just teleported back there, so you want to go ahead and kill him. And there's two more archers and an enemy up here to the right. There's also a gather bowl straight ahead. There's a chest here also. Don't forget that letter if you're still ranking up with, leveling, which at this point, I'm pretty sure you're already max level. All right, get those grouped up. There's a glyph on the wall that you're going to want to grab, and that way you can get the chest. Now, up here, you never want to do what I'm about to do, and I'm going to show you why. Normally, you have someone with the range, shoot those guys, bring them down the stairs, group them up that way, okay? I wanted to show you what happens when you come up here. Archers, they back the hell up. And now, look at this pile of mess, all right? You can try to reap them all you want, and then they could just jump right back, okay? And that's what I was saying about you want to have their back facing the way you want them to go, or else they'll just keep jumping away from you and from the pile of mobs. So in an M3, that would have just destroyed us all. We'd have probably been all dead. Then again, we would have had a full group and been able to gather them up. Best way to do it is just pull them down the stairs, like I said before. Tank come through here. Get ready to aggro all these mobs. And mow them down as best you can. The bird will jump back a lot of times. The panthers jump back, then they go into full grit mode, and they do a lot of damage that way. So watch out for them lunging. DPS, don't forget to activate the glyph to get the chest. Now we got beetles, and we also have a gather bowl right here. So pull them all to the end. Usually that one at the top left is over here to the bottom right. So I don't know why he's up on the stairs so much. I've actually never seen that before. So maybe he's just going through something. We need to help him out. All right, these lasers up here, tanks. Always tell your DPS, I'm on the left. Get ready to dodge when you go in here. 1, 2, boom. You got to dodge so it doesn't hit you. If the laser hits your DPS because they're a bunch of ding-dongs, then you're going to get reavers. All right? Now, you're ranking up in your first time doing this. Okay, I get it. You're not a ding-dong. I'm talking to my teammates here because, good Lord, you play this game enough. But you know what? It kind of goes with the video. I can show you what happens. You don't want to fight those guys in mutations, especially because they do a lot of damage. This guy, do stamina damage as best you can to him. Melt them down. You can dodge that jump so you don't get stuck. This room is tricky for a lot of people. Basically just come down here, tank, try to stay in front of this mob so that way the bird jumps back. Just like the archers, the bird and the archers will always jump where their back is facing. So if he's facing toward the wall or his back's facing toward the wall, he will jump to the wall. If he got behind you and he's facing these guys, he will go to them, and next thing you know, you have 2 birds and you got a big dog, and good luck because this bird hits really hard. This bird and this dog are big hitters, all right? That swipe right there, DPS, you got to be careful because if you're behind the bird, he will hit you still. If you're on the back left of the bird, it will most likely miss you, but be careful. The hammer slam will stop him from teleporting, which is a bunch of fire damage. You used to be able to block it. For some reason, you can't block it anymore. I don't know. You just take it. So it's best to go ahead and shield bash or hammer stun. This guy, I'm trying to get him to jump back out there toward the stairs by the time the other mob comes down. He did not do what I wanted him to do. So it is what it is. Notice my DPS started hitting the mob immediately after I aggroed. That is the wrong thing to do, Tort. But he thought we were going to stop and take the guy out first before bringing him down here. But I would always say group those two up. They're not that hard to kill. And an M3... a little bit different, but if you're with a good group, you can do it just fine. Tank, voice out. I'm staying on the inside, so that means DPS will all go to the outside of the laser so they don't get hit by the laser, Nindy. All right. Well, try to pull these together as best you can. You're going to try to hold aggro on everything, but you don't want to go over there to the archer because if you pull the mobs over there and this bird dashes, he will knock all the DPS. So you're basically just trying to hold aggro until everybody's dead. Now you kill the archer last. Great Axe should try to reap this archer out of the corner because this spot really kind of sucks. You're just front facing them. Now this boss is a lot of fire damage and slash damage. So tanks, if you have slash shield ward or a slash amulet, you can put it on here. But this is the easiest boss in the game. A lot of people freak out and they go range. Don't go range here on this boss. I don't want to hear it. Don't go range. Go melee. This is the easiest boss in the game. You can melt him down in less than 30 seconds if you go melee. Basically, you want to get behind him, start doing melee so he doesn't jump on you. If you're ranged, he will dash. And when you have a full team and you have high enough DPS, you go through all these phases. So the laser phase, the lasers that he spawns right here and shoots down, you could stay in the Sacred. Sacred will be on the DPS the whole time here. Beacon can be on the tank. And you get through it just fine. If you have fire protection, those lasers will not really hurt you too much. So make sure you have fire protection if you want to, and you'll be just fine. You kill the beetle just like that. If people are spread out range, he's going to dash to the range as a random ranged attack. And then he will also pounce. He will jump and land on you, which does a lot of strike damage and stuns you. It will take your stamina tank. So tell everybody to get melee. Get good. This game is a heavy melee game. Not a heavy like loadout, but it is dominant melee. Range, you can do that in PvP. All right, here we go. Aggro these guys. Come on up. And here we go. Pull them together. Now that archer, the DPS needs to take out first. He's the most dangerous. Those archers will shoot a corruption shot at you, which will put an area effect on the ground. Once that explodes, later on in M3s, it will one-shot the DPS. So DPS, get smart, take out the archer really quickly, and usually the tank, I'll ping where I want them to attack first and say, hey, attack this guy first. Try to be vocal as a tank so they know. Up here is where you have a chest. You'll never come up here in a mutation. So only this one time will you ever come up here. Get the glyph on the wall, and that will open the chest. The next group of enemies, I love going through with the greatsword because I can pull the enemies together myself. You can choose whether you want a front face or have the DPS go behind. A lot of tanks front face, and they have the DPS go behind, throw a grab well, and kill the mobs, and then the big guy. I like to pull them together and just, you know, go ahead and try to kill them all myself. Now, a good thing when you get the heart rune quest in Brimstone and you get heart runes, that detonate that I have, that where I light up with all electricity and whatnot, is so good against corrupted, because corrupted are most weak against arcane.
We're gonna kill them all. We're just
And
gonna
also
left
thrust, but the arcane will do a lot of damage to them. That's what the detonate is. All right, go to the left. When you come in here, a lot of tanks will go up right, but just go to the left here and just take out all the mobs, because most likely you're going to aggro these mobs anyways, because someone's going to walk in too far to the left. Ping the archer that they need to take out first, which was not taken out first here. Then you kill this solo guy, and a little trick coming up, if you have the healer shoot the far archer up here on the stairs, and then the healer moves down the stairs to pull the archer toward us,
and then
the Gravwell person can then grab these 3 mobs on the right up, like right now. Boom. He could grab, if it would have been a little bit sooner, he could have grabbed all of them together, and then you can mow them down really quickly. Like I said, this archer right here will do a lot of damage when he shoots you with the void arrow. Similar to that void shot that was just there on the ground, that's what the archers do. And when this boss, or little mini boss thing, hunches over right there, he does a big void hit. Boom. So you want to block that. All right, since we got hit by the laser, we did activate the Reaver. Anytime you get hit by a laser, you're going to activate these Reavers. And remember, later on in mutations, you're in corrupted ward pot mode here and corrupted coatings. You're going to do less damage to the Reavers, and you're going to take way more damage from the Reavers because they are ancient. So if you pull Reavers here, good luck. People are getting knocked, and it's going to suck. Try not to pull Reavers. If we pulled these 2 Reavers in M3, let's say we came down here. Trying, baby. All right, this big guy here in the middle,
you're gonna pull that big
tanks, what you could do is tell the, well, we'll get there here in a second. You could tell everybody to stay here. I'll pull. You basically go to this line right there on the floor. You will aggro him, pull him away, because you do not want to get the other 2 mobs involved. All right, make sure you block that slam or that big strike hit. And you try to do stamina damage to get this guy on his knees. We're going to mow him down before that. And now we will go take out the mobs. There is a glyph there in the back. Always take this guy out first. There's a glyph there in the back that unlocks a chest that you could actually get without even aggroing this mob. But, you know, people are going to aggro him anyway. So go ahead and go to him, tank. Take him out. Grab your chest. And we will go to the next part. Don't forget the platinum vein here on the left. Make sure you have your mining up for it. And we're going to go up to the left here. Now, when you come up here, you're going to aggro the mob here on the right. No big deal. Not a problem. Once again, tanks, I'm staying on the far right. Everybody go left. So that way they can dodge the laser. Okay? Communicate with them. And even if you do, they're going to hit the laser. So just get ready for Reavers. Especially when people are getting used to the dungeons and they're not really paying attention. They don't care. They're not tanking it. Okay? Then they'll blame you for not holding aggro on it or something like that. So good time, tanks. All right, there's a platinum vein there on the right you can grab. And now we're basically just going to go to the right and go the same way we came in.
On the inside, stay on the outside.
There's nothing to the left but mobs. I swear. This gatherable here, Blight Crystal, you can actually get this without aggroing the mobs. Just stay close on the wall. Go directly to it. No need for the mobs, and you're out. He got hit by laser again. I was shaking my camera. No, jeez. Come on, Tort. Now this boss, thrust protection is huge for the tank. Thrust protection ward, or thrust ward shield on your shield, or an amulet. This guy does a lot of thrust and tanks. This guy's weird with aggro, okay? It's going to be hard to hit him because that shield you're not going to penetrate. I found the best way to do it is with the greatsword, but then you're liable to more damage being taken to you. So it's a weird one. I usually like to sword and shield and greatsword here, okay? That's what I would come in with. That's what I would recommend. Greatsword you can start off with. If you start taking too much damage, just switch to the sword and shield, and you can shield rush, get your fortify and all that jazz, and retaunt. Having a couple different taunts is really good here. But I love the greatsword also because you can relentless rush like that and bring the mobs in towards you and try to kill them quickly while the DPS is focused on the boss. You're gonna maintain aggro on the boss pretty much the whole time. The only way to lose it is maybe you get knocked or you just go a long time without paying attention to them. But usually bosses they'll be so easy to hold aggro on. It's just programmed like that. Alright, there's 3 phases of this boss. We are now on the 3rd phase where he spawns the brutes. Tanks aggro the brutes. I tried to hit it with that little hammer thing on the ground, but it didn't work. So I'm going to go to him. Tank, you're just going to hold the brutes while the DPS mows down the boss. All you're going to do is block. If you need stamina, then you can kind of run away. Watch out for their laser and their big hit. Ooh, taking a pounding, baby. And that's how you do that. Now we go back to ancient coatings, ancient ward pots. Don't forget. And don't forget your chest here on the way out. Always, and I mean always, go to the right here. Never go left. Always go to the right. This is what you'll do in M3s. And this is what you need to get used to. Alright, pull this guy in as quick as you can. The archer always likes to jump back. Now, if I would have stayed in front of him, he would have jumped back to where the reavers are. And then if you aggro the reavers and all that, it's just a headache, okay? So you got to get behind him, Tank, and make him jump the way I just made him jump. There was a black crystal over there to the left. Didn't bother grabbing it. Don't really care. There's lasers roaming around here, so watch out. If you do get hit by the lasers, you will pull reavers off the wall. Tanks, if you can get to this spot with your relentless rush or whatever it is you're using, the flail, sword and shield, get to this spot. It's a nice little cubby hole, and it's the best spot because now the DPS can, mow down the boss without threat of, anybody hitting them. And there is the circle laser going around there. All right, this boss is also a lot of fire damage. Now, this is a 2-boss fight, not just one. This is the first time you're going to fight 2 bosses at once. There are 4 pillars, as you see there, okay? Each person can call out which pillar they're going to get. Tank, your center fielder, all right? Your Ed Reed in the backfield, whatever analogy you want. You will always watch and see who didn't go to the what pillar and try to fill in. So, at first, you're going to have the dog to fight, then the bird. All right, I'm not going to call by the names because it's just easier remembering a dog and a bird. Really good thing to have is a plague, disease, heart rune, biobomb heart rune, and but that's later strat, so we're not going to get into that too much. But if you hit the dog before he goes down, same thing with the bird, you can make them wake up with half health. But we'll get into that here in a minute. Always pull the dog to the side where I'm pulling it now. So you want the healer to be, or any range to be behind the pillar, okay? Because he's going to charge. You got to get behind this pillar so that he hits his head like a ding dong on the pillar. If no one's behind that pillar, he's going to just basically rush and slam on you. So here he goes, a rush again. He always does 2 rushes. He's rushing at me because no one was behind the pillar. You always want one person. Usually the healer is the only person that's going to be ranged here and behind the pillar. Now, in regulars, a lot of people are going to be ranged because they don't know mechanics and they're scared and they just haven't learned it yet. So no problem with that. It's perfectly fine in this fight if you want to be ranged. No big issue there. Now, this bird, as a tank, I like to try to pull him toward the middle because you're going to have to get to all 4 pillars to deactivate them. And that's what I'm trying to show here. I don't want to mow them down too quickly, so we can show you the stages. Now, we are down 1 person, so we will have to rotate. You basically just walk up, press E on one of the pillars. Make sure you dodge that blast. If you don't dodge that blast, and you'll learn the timing of it as you get going, it will stack rend on you, so then you will be taking a lot more damage. Very important to dodge that. Also, it does a lot of fire damage, so it will take a lot of your health. So this is stage 2, pillars again. And now we're gonna go ahead and try to mow him down. And that's it. That's the boss fight. Just kidding, man. They will both wake up now. Oh, watch out for that blast too when he stuns people like that. That blast will do a lot of fire damage to you and hurt you. Also, if the dog is where he just was, behind that pillar, like I said, that's why you want to pull him that way. When he wakes up, he likes to charge a lot. So then he will immediately hit his head, and you don't have to worry about him running across and hitting somebody. Now, if you take that dog down or bird down too quickly and you cannot get this other one killed fast enough, then what will happen is they both wake back up. Very important to get both their health down at the same time, then kill them, okay? This is the biggest problem with this fight in regular dungeons. A lot of people do not know the mechanics. So, if you're going to run this with a team, feel free to share the video, have them fast forward to the end here so you can kind of go over the fight with them. You want to make sure you get the bird down close, maybe like 1 bar, same thing with the dog, then you can melt them down. You can kill the dog a lot faster than you can kill a bird, so... All right, that's how you do it, and that is Ennead or Ennead. Make sure you get your glyph here. There will be a lot of pages in Brimstones where you got to get, I think it's like 20 something of these glyphs, and you'll see the pages fill up, and that will allow you to open up all the elite chests, especially the acid elite chest, which is really what you want because you'll get golden scarabs out of those. Will they be a big thing in the patch going forward? Don't know, but I would still say yes, probably they will be, because you're going to have to make prismatic scarabs. So actually, matter of fact, yes, they will be, because it takes 10 of those gold scarabs to make 1 prismatic scarab. So you make sure you get all those glyphs around Brimstone. Maybe I'll upload a video on it soon. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I stream live every day on Twitch, so feel free to stop by and like, comment, subscribe. All right, later.